A 22-year-old married woman has alleged that she was raped by 14 men for over 4 consecutive days. The victim was held captive at a guest house in Indian state Haryana's Panchkula district, where the accused took turns to rape her. The woman has filed a complaint with the Chandigarh police. Police have arrested 3 accused following the complaint. Indian government led by Narendra Modi has won its first no-confidence motion in the lower house of parliament. While 126 members supported the motion, 325 members rejected it. A debate on trust vote lasted for around 12 hours. A day-long session witnessed the government and the opposition trade charges and a bit of drama when Rahul Gandhi winked and hugged PM Modi. Congress President Rahul Gandhi held no bars in criticizing the NDA government during the discussion on trust vote against the government. Mr. Gandhi accused Prime Minister and his cabinet of being untruthful to the citizens, from Rafale to demonetization, women's safety to mob lynching, fuel prices to crony capitalism. Rahul Gandhi leveled allegations against Modi government one after the other, adding even a little humor to it. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a counter to Rahul Gandhi's each and every allegation in the parliament. Sailing through the no trust vote, PM Modi called no trust as opposition's negativity. Targeting the Congress, Modi said Congress had no faith in the Election Commission, judiciary, RBI or international agencies. They have confidence in nothing. What stole the show was Rahul Gandhi's hug and wink during the discussion to no trust vote, and Prime Minister also did not miss to mock Rahul Gandhi's hug in his reply to the no confidence motion in the Lok Sabha. Prime Minister said Congress is in a hurry to unseat him. Even social media was agog with memes, jokes and hashtags on the hug and the wink. The BJP has submitted a privilege notice against Congress President Rahul Gandhi for misleading Parliament. This happened hours after the opposition leader accused Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman of lying to the nation on the Rafale deal. The BJP cited rules of the House, saying Gandhi should have given prior notice before making any allegations against any member. France has refuted Congress President's claim that he had met French President and talked about the secrecy clause in the Rafale fighters deal. Hours after Rahul's charges, France asserted that the security agreement of 2008 in this regard legally binds the two nations to protect classified information. France added that the provisions of this agreement is also applicable to the intergovernmental agreement on 36 Rafale aircrafts, the negotiations for which concluded in September 2016. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has said that the UN Security Council stands united in seeking a final verified denuclearization of North Korea. He added that fully enforcing economic sanctions is key to eliminating nuclear weapons from the country. There have been doubts over North Korea's intentions over its commitment of denuclearization, as its leader Kim Jong has not given details of when it will happen. Donald Trump's longtime lawyer Michael Cohen secretly recorded a conversation with Trump before the 2016 U.S. presidential elections. Reportedly, in the recording, they discussed payments to a former Playboy model who said she had an affair with Trump. The FBI has seized the recording this year during a raid on Cohen's office. Cohen, who no longer represents Trump, is being investigated over payments made to women. Charlie Rowley, one of the 2 Britons poisoned with the nerve agent Novichok last month, has been released from the hospital. Rowley and Dawn Sturgess had fallen ill after being exposed to the poison in southwest England. It is close to where Russian double agent Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia were attacked with the Novichok in March. Sturgess died earlier this month. Australia and Britain are ready to agree a free trade deal. British Foreign Minister Jeremy Hunt, hosting his first bilateral meeting since being appointed to the role earlier in July, said he had discussed a future trade deal with his visiting Australian counterpart. Britain wants to secure free trade deals with new partners following its departure from the European Union in March 2019. German Chancellor Angela Merkel has said that she was right to say a year ago that Europe could no longer rely on the United States to impose order on the world. Merkel said that it is needed to take matters close to home in its own hands. Merkel described Germany's relationship with the US as crucial even after Trump criticized Germany last week. China has called on the United States to be responsible in its words and policy making to show good global governance instead of creating disorder. Chinese Foreign Ministry has said it has always advocated abandoning the Cold War mentality and not engaging in a zero-sum game. China and the United Arab Emirates have signed a number of economic agreements as President Xi Jinping held talks in Abu Dhabi to strengthen political ties. She met UAE Vice President Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum and Abu Dhabi's Crown Prince Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan on the second day of a three-day visit. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping are expected to meet in Johannesburg on the sidelines of the BRICS summit. President Xi Jinping is likely to hold bilateral meetings with leaders of relevant countries. This would be the third meeting between President Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Narendra Modi since the informal meeting in Wuhan. Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz President Shehbaz Sharif has claimed the proceedings of the National Accountability Bureau are being done to push the party in an extremely bad situation ahead of the general elections. Shehbaz alleged that many of PMLN candidates are being pressurized and forced to join other political parties. Gaza's armed group Hamas has said it has reached a ceasefire deal with Israel hours after 5 people, including an Israeli soldier, were killed in the latest violence. However, there has been no word yet on the ceasefire from Israeli side. Israel bombarded Hamas position late on Friday night after one of its soldiers was shot at and killed during clashes with armed groups in the besieged Gaza Strip. The United Nations Refugee Agency has appealed to all sides in Syria to provide safe passage for over 140,000 civilians displaced by fighting in the country's southwest region so that they can receive humanitarian aid and shelter. The agency stressed that any returns must be safe, voluntary and in line with international standards. Syrian rebels have begun evacuating the border with the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights, leaving for the rebel-held north in a surrender deal that restores President Bashar al-Assad's control of the frontier. Tens of thousands of people have been sheltering at the frontier since the government offensive began 1 month ago. Israeli air and ground forces have killed 4 Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. The Israeli military has said aircraft and tanks hit 8 Hamas positions in Gaza after its forces had been shot at and had explosive devices hurled at them along the border. Hamas has claimed 3 dead as members of the Islamist group. At least 120 Palestinians have been wounded. A security guard outside a branch of one of Iraq's most powerful paramilitary groups shot and killed a protester while trying to push back a crowd. 2 people were wounded when demonstrators throwing bricks and stones gathered outside the local headquarters of the Iranian-backed BUTTOCK organization. Protesters are calling for the downfall of political parties. They are backed by the country's most influential clerics. Ten people have been injured after a man armed with a knife attacked people on a bus in the northern city of LUEBECK. The accused has been arrested. Police has said that there was no indication he was radicalized or had a terrorist motive. An area around a bus stop in LUEBECK neighborhood of Kunitz has been sealed off by police. French President Emmanuel Macron fired the head of his personal security detail but faced criticism for failing to act sooner. Backlash was the result of the video that was released showing the bodyguard posing as a police officer and beating a protester while off duty in May. Lawmakers have launched a paramilitary inquiry into the incident. Divers have pulled the last bodies from the wreckage of a duck boat that sank on Thursday during a storm in a lake near a popular Missouri destination. 17 people have been killed in one of the deadliest U.S. tourist incidents in years. Tugboats have been involved in a string of deadly incidents that have killed over 36 people across the United States over the past 2 decades. The daughter of the iconic Chilean musician Victor Jara is calling on the government to push for results in an extradition request for a man who was found liable in the 1973 murder of her father Amanda. Jara was 8 years old when her father Jara was detained along with others, was beaten and shot. It had happened after the coup that installed late dictator Augusto Pinochet into power. A plastic surgeon known as Dr. BUMBUM or Dr. Butt on social media has been arrested because of his buttock enhancement operations from Rio de Janeiro. The accused doctor has been held 4 days after one of his patients died. Police has said that they had been searching for Dennis Furtado since Sunday when his patient Lillian Calixto died at a hospital where Furtado had taken her after a procedure. Football club Torpedo Moscow have denied allegations of racism after player of color Irving Bokota Yobama's contract failed. Torpedo Moscow have cancelled the transfer of defender Yobama following angry fan protest and racist abuse. Club president Elena Yelensteva has stated that cancellation of the player's transfer was a result of his parent club's financial claim over what they believe would be a free transfer. A 26-year-old man has been sentenced to 21 months in jail after recording videos of himself riding on public roads at speeds reaching 189 miles per hour. Adam Campion was sentenced after he pleaded guilty to 5 counts of dangerous driving offences, including performing wheelies and weaving in and out of traffic. Forensic facial recognition software was also used to identify Campion. A video footage has emerged from Brazil, reportedly showing the sole survivor of an uncontacted Amazon tribe. According to Brazil's indigenous agency, FUNAI, the footage reportedly dates back to 2011 and shows a man swinging in an axe at a tree in Tanaru territory in Brazil. According to the group, never before has a man of this Amazon tribe been filmed so clearly before. Organizers have championed the successes of rehabilitating the sea turtles by sending them back into the wild. It was a ceremonious release of turtles with over 1,000 turtle fans in the Florida Keys. The 2 sea turtles from differing species were released after being treated for gastronitis and antibiotics.
Jamie, come closer to me, please. Like a lot. 3. Okay, let her do it. Just hold there. Hold there. Come on, sweetie. Okay, lower the tub a little bit.
Watch out, Jules.
In football, reigning European champions Real Madrid have unveiled their new signing, Vinicius Jr., considered to be among the best prospects in Brazilian football. The teenager was signed by the Spanish Giants for 45 million euros from Flamengo last year on the condition that he would only join the team this summer. He will be part of the Real Madrid's pre-season International Champions Cup assignments in the US. Meanwhile, Brazilian superstar Neymar has put aside speculation linking him with a move to Real Madrid by pledging his immediate future to Paris Saint-Germain. The big spending French outfit signed Neymar for a world record 222 million euros last session, and the forward has now publicly stated that he will remain with the Paris club for the upcoming season. Former Barcelona manager Luis Enrique has officially been unveiled as the new head coach of the Spanish national team. The 2010 champions sacked their manager Julian Lopetegui on the eve of their Russia 2018 opener and went down on penalties to the host in the round of 16. Now, Enrique has said that Spain will not alter their possession-based playing style during his tenure. The late grunge pioneer Chris Cornell will be remembered in the city where he was born. Now, Chris Cornell's wife announced a statue will be erected on August 29 at Seattle's Museum of Pop Culture. The Grammy-winning lead vocalist for Soundgarden and Audioslave was found dead in a Detroit hotel room on May 18, 2017. The 47-year-old actor, producer, businessman and former rapper Mark Wahlberg announced he is launching his first car dealership, Mark Wahlberg Chevrolet, in Columbus. Now, Wahlberg is partnering with the businessman Jay Feldman, who owns 8 Chevy dealerships throughout Southeast and Mid-Michigan.